abuse of overtime, misdirection of funding sources, and repeated noncompliance with FEMA guidelines and regulations. These were among the findings that prompted Senator Shawn Gumataotao to introduce Bill 179, the Guam Emergency Management Modernization Act of 2025. He says the current civil defense law, written nearly 75 years ago, has run its course and is in need of an evolution.
At this point, this is a good time for us to retool how we, and actually, in fairness, other states and territories respond to a national change in emergency management.
The measure would abolish the Office of Civil Defense and shift responsibilities across multiple agencies, replacing OCD with a Bureau of Emergency Management under the Guam Fire Department.
They do use their money pretty okay. They're not too bad. They have great, resources and a team that has been able to use E911 monies, other federal dollars to be able to bear upon their operations.
In addition, hazard mitigation would move to the Department of Public Works, while the governor's office would continue handling recovery efforts. But for Gumataotao, accountability is central to the bill.
We've been asking for that. And if there is no kind of push, well, this might be a push for another agency to do so.
Communications Director for the Office of the Governor, Crystal Paco San Augustine, however, says while reform is needed, Bill 179 fragments a system that must remain united in times of crisis. She also noted that Fire Chief Darren Burrier was not consulted before the bill was introduced. Gumataotao counters that delays and noncompliance have already cost Guam federal dollars, and that a new structure is necessary to restore federal confidence.
And this is not something that, again, happened overnight. I mean, we've seen a loss of FY 2019, FY 20. Now we are perhaps could lose FY 2021 dollars from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Where does it end?
Modeled after Florida's approach, his plan includes a dedicated emergency management fund to protect federal disaster aid and ensure resources go where they're needed most.
When an organization or a system is weak, if they can't be ready, then that exposes us. I think this community is given plenty of chances. We are a great place of second chances. But in the case of what we see today in our emergency management system, it is time for a systemic change.
As Guam waits a public hearing on the measure, at the center of this debate is a simple question. Will splitting responsibilities strengthen Guam's disaster response or leave the island more vulnerable when the next crisis hits? Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.